Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's time to do a finished pages for the month of June for 2025. And I think I have about a dozen pages, which is pretty good considering how busy I was at work in June. I was just way too busy to do anything, so I just came home and went to bed a lot of days. So a dozen is pretty good. So first up I have from Deborah Muller's newest book, Goth Summer. I think this is probably the last page I colored for the month, and I've got this girl here. This page is kind of crazy, it's kind of a mess. Let's talk about it. So, she is gray. I kind of forgot that this was one of her Monster Girls books, and that these girls weren't necessarily monsters. But, well, she is now. I started using my newer brush tip Ohuhu markers in here, but they're very, very juicy for the lines in this book to be a little thin. So then I switched back to my old Cali Art markers. And I was coloring this during the week that really, really bad heat storm hit the United States. So it was just very hot out. And this page seemed really perfect because it almost seems like the pool is like totally empty. All the water has dried up and everything. So that's why I did this page, and I just kind of, yeah, like I said, I went crazy. Everything was on fire back here, like these are flames, but I did them in black. So I just went crazy with this background. I just didn't want to do a traditional sky or anything, so I just kind of made it like a hellfire brimstone type thing with all of the warm tones, and then the sun back here. And then the grass is all dry and dead, and I had some trouble with some of my markers dying on me. You can see here, some of these were some of my original set of Ohuhus from like way before they even had the brush tips. Like, you know, nowadays they're called like the Honolulu and the Oahu markers. Like this was just when it was Ohuhu and they sold one type of marker. So I tried to use some of those on this page, and you can see here like they kind of died on the umbrella and down here in the grass a little bit. But I think otherwise it looks fine. There's a lot of paint on here as well. White paint, like on the cup of coffee back here. And there's blue paint down here for the water. White paint down here too. There's no, well, no, never mind. There is a little bit of glitter gel pen on her necklace. I almost said there isn't any, but there is. And then I wasn't totally sure what this was back here. If it's a hedge or if it's sidewalk leading to the graveyard, but it's sidewalk now. So yeah, this page was just really crazy and really hectic, and it turned into a lot more than I wanted it to, and to be honest I wasn't very happy with it at first, but I think I actually do like how it turned out. I don't know, at first I wasn't really feeling whatever I had going on there with the background, but actually I do think I like it. So yeah, that's the first page, technically the last page that I finished for the month. Let me figure out where I want to set the books when they're done. Let's move those markers right over there. No, that's going to create a shadow. Actually, let's put them on the floor. Okay, there we go. So next I have 50 farmers miniatures, which I've been coloring in a lot. To be honest, I don't have a bookshelf anymore, and I don't have room for one, so all of my books are in like a clear plastic storage bin. So at the beginning of the month I just pull some out that I feel like I want to color in for that month, and this one has been out for a while. Like, as you can see, there's like a lot of pages in it that are colored. So I maybe need to put it up and give another book some time, but I'm just really fond of this theme. But for this month I did this pig with all of the vegetables. This could kind of be a fall page too, I think, with the pumpkin and the beet and the turnips, but I did it for summer, and there's a little bit of glitter on the, there we go, on the denim, and I did white gel pen for the stitching on the denim and for the highlights on the fruit up here, which I made a little more detailed than this fruit down here, because this fruit down here was also just not drawn with as much detail. So I just didn't put much detail on it when I colored it. But yeah, I just did this very simple little page with the pig carrying the vegetables, and I actually think this one turned out really cute. I'm pretty sure this one was also Cali Art markers. Then I have another minis book. This one was Vacation Miniatures, which I pulled out because it's summertime. You'll probably see some of this one next month too. And I did this pineapple house, very SpongeBob. But I actually really like how this page turned out. This was with some of the new Ohuhu markers, the brush tips. And I really just love how the pineapple itself turned out and how the leaves on top turned out. I tried to make it look kind of like a real pineapple because, you know, they are kind of like darker at the bottom and they get a little more green towards the top where the leaves are. So I'm very happy with that. I just blacked out the windows instead of doing anything inside the house. And there is a little bit of glitter gel pen. It's on like the metal parts. So like whatever's holding this lantern here, like this post is metal, and then there you go, and then the door hinges and the doorknob are in the metallic gel pen, which when I say metallic gel pen, I always mean the Pintel Sparkle Pop gel pens. Those are the smoothest and best glitter gel pens, I think, so I'm always using those. But yeah, this might be one of my favorite pages from this month for sure, I think. I'm just really happy with how that turned out. It's still not a page I would normally pick. Typically I would pick one of the pages that has little animals in it, but I just felt like doing the pineapple page. So next is one of my first pages in one of these cute and cozy books. This is the Cozy Corner by Coco Weil, which is on the better quality paper, and I did this page with the vending machine. And I tried to do the light effect that I see some people do, where some of the stuff is kind of yellow from the light. I think maybe this cat should not have been, but I'm not totally sure. I'm still playing around with how the light would hit different surfaces. I need to figure out a different way to do glass, I think. I see some people take like just a white colored pencil and very lightly shade over it, so it just kind of has just a slight tinge to it, and some people do that for a glass, and I do think I like how that looks, but I would have to pick up just a couple of white colored pencils, like Prismacolors, from somewhere open stock, which is an art store here in the city, so I could always do that. But I think I might try that effect next. And then I did try to draw some hearts down here on this pillow, but I'm not the greatest at freehanding stuff, so I need to get some stencils, I think. But they would have to be very tiny stencils to fit on there. I just wanted to do it in a little bit of a different pattern than just the solid color for the cushions because it felt a little bit boring. But yeah, I mostly just used the brand new Ohuhu markers on this and a white gel pen, and that's it. There's actually no glitter on this page, which is a little unusual, but I actually do like how it turned out. I tried an effect I saw online with people doing just like different colored dots for like spackling on the wall because it just felt too plain. I just at first did it in gray with a little bit of the shading. It was just like way too plain. So I tried that and I think it turned out pretty good. I don't have the patience that some people have to draw in a bunch of individual bricks. I have seen people do that and it looks fantastic, but I just don't have that kind of patience or time. But I'm very happy with the spackling that I did. Oh, and then I did this cat as an orange striped cat, and I made him the missing cat. So yeah, I'm very happy with how that page turned out. It didn't take me very long either, so that's one of the things I like about the cute and cozy books. So next I have Matchstick Mouse Summers. Obvious why I pulled this one out, I think. And I did two like water related pages this month. Let me get to the right one. Where is it? I don't think it was that far ahead. Hold on. Okay, here's the first one. This is a beach page, and I really love how this one turned out. I did the beach at sunset with, again, the same yellow highlight effect, and I actually think it turned out really fantastic. I'm sorry if you can hear some noise. The people upstairs are walking around. This was, again, mainly the old set of Ohuhu markers and Cali Art markers, and then there's a ton of paint on here to do the ocean effect. I looked at some tutorials for how to do like the sea foam and everything, and it turned out, but the problem with this book is that the lines in it are very thick, so it took so many coats of paint that the page is buckling a little bit on the back, almost to the point where it felt like the paint was going to go through the page onto the next page. So that's something to be cautious of, because I definitely didn't want that to happen. so I just stopped putting white paint on it, so it's not totally like completely whited out the black lines on the ocean, but it looks good enough, I think. And then I did the white dots in the sand with a bit of a darker color for that. And there's a little bit of glitter gel pen. It's just like the two little seashells there. There we go. They're kind of catching. Yeah, this is definitely another favorite page for the month for me, though. These I can color in about 30 minutes. And then here's my second one, which I did her getting into like a lake, which I didn't do as much on the water here, you can tell, because I don't really have sea foam for the lake, you know. I was a little bit worried coloring the lake, though, that would come out more radioactive and not so much lake water. But I do actually think it turned out pretty okay. There is some paint on it still, though. I just used more of a dark green color because it's easier to get rid of the black lines with a darker paint color. And again, there is a little bit of white, but I had the same problem. And you can kind of tell here with the light green, especially, that black line isn't totally gone, but you can only put so much paint on the page to cover it up, so many layers before it starts to go through the paper, because this paper isn't for paint. So at some point you're just gonna have to call it quits. But yeah, I'm still happy with this. This one also has just a little bit of glitter because her hat is back there on the rock. But yeah, I'm very thrilled with this. Actually, to be honest, I would have said before that this is my least favorite Matchstick mouse book, and it's definitely the one I've colored in the least. But I really liked how these two pages turned out, so maybe this one's becoming more of a favorite for me. I especially like how both of the sky pages turned out. Okay, so one last non-color by number book, and then we'll get into all of my color by number pages. So I did Hoola Hottadis by Deborah Muller. Again, I pulled this one out because it kind of had a summer vibe. I think this was my only summer book from Deborah Muller before I got the other one. And I did this page here of the girl with the flamingo. This one has a lot thicker lines compared to Deborah's newer work. So this one was some of the newer Ohuhu markers. And I'm very happy with how she turned out. That's always my worry, is how the person, like their face, especially their body and their hair, turns out. And I'm very thrilled with that. And to be honest, I didn't want to do a background for this page, so I simply just didn't. I intentionally picked a page that didn't really have a background to be done, because I didn't feel like doing one. But yeah, this one is very simple, just markers with a few white gel pen for highlights. Actually, you know what? Yeah, maybe it's really only on her lips and on for her pupils, because Deborah's scrolls don't have like any white pupils, so I sometimes add those in. Yeah, actually I really think that's the only white gel pen I did for this girl at all. And then there's just a little bit of glitter gel pen on her nails, and that's it. This one is a very simple, straightforward page that I didn't add a lot to. So that was a very simple one. Okay, so next let's do the color by number stuff. This is a book that I would like to finish, but I only have, I think, 4 or 5 pages done in it, so it's very far off. Kira Shershneva's Color by Colors Women's World, and this was Morocco. These are on the shiny paper, so it can be a little bit hard to show them on camera because of the lights. Let me see if I can turn the light just a little bit, maybe. There we go. I don't know how I feel about this page. I'm doing it in reverse order because, as you can see, it really covers up the back and you can't see the colors. But I'm not as big of a fan of the pages where there isn't really a background. Like the page I did last month, there's a whole background going on here. She's like in a town. This one just being the solid green is not as interesting to me, and the upcoming page does have a whole background with like a mountain and a lake, and those are more interesting. If I wasn't doing this book in reverse order so that I could, you know, see the colors over here, then this probably would have been a page that I picked last, just because I just don't like the solid color. But I do think it turned out pretty. I do like the color choices that make up her outfit and everything, and I like the grapes. It was just a little bit more bland for me, you know what I'm saying? It's just like not one that I would gravitate towards. It's probably one that I would leave last in the book. And to be fair, I think that there are only a couple of pages like this. I think we may have already done one. Let me look and see. Yeah, see, like this girl here just has like a solid red background. I think most of them do have backgrounds. I think there's one towards the very beginning, maybe from Japan or Korea, that has a solid background, and for the most part they do have a little bit of like a scene going on. I will say the only change I made for this page was that I wanted tan for her skin tone, and there's just not a lot of variety in the skin tones in this book. Kira really only uses tan or peach, and I like to color a variety of skin tones in all my books, so I just changed that a little bit. And you know, it's your book, so you can do whatever you want with it, and it doesn't look too bad with the tan outline. It is already a sort of brownish color, but yeah, I just gave her a different skin tone for something a little bit different, so it shouldn't look like all the other girls in the book. So next is a new one for me again. This is Adorable Dogs by Sin Ong. I picked another water page. Did a lot of water pages this month. I have this puppy swimming here, and I actually do love the colors in this. I love the highlights and how the sunset's kind of in the water, but I do notice the flowers in the water here, and I don't know how I feel about that. They're definitely not flowers that would, you know, normally be in water. They're not water lilies or anything. So I talked about this very in depth in my haul video, because I did haul this book this month, about whether or not, I don't know, is this AI? Is it not? I don't really have a conclusive answer. I know that I will continue to color in this book because I already purchased it and spent money on it, and I like the pictures. The style is very cute, and the style is consistent throughout. So I am going to continue to color in this book. This was a book that I could see myself finishing as well, because I actually do like all of the pages in it. I think they're all very cute and have a nice design. But yeah, that one was just a little bit odd. But I do like the colors and the dog overall. I do wish it said the dog breed. It just says like picture 36 here, so I don't know what he is. Maybe a chocolate lab or like a Newfoundland puppy going for a swim. And then the last book that I have is a book you're going to see a lot of. The A.J. Quinnell's Asian Animals, because I'm trying to finish this book and I have 7 or 8 pages left, so it should be finished by the end of this year, hopefully. So I did the first page, which is this elephant. I really love this page, and it's the only page in the book that's like this, where the animal has such a thick black outline, but I think it just makes the elephant really pop out from this page, and I wish... Okay, I don't know if A.J. Quinnell is a person or if it's like Jade Summer, where it's a group of artists, but I wish whoever did this page would do this on more of them, because I think it just gives it kind of a really cool effect. And I'm not sure why it's on the elephant page. I don't know if maybe it's mimicking some type of cultural art, or if it was supposed to give more of a stained glass vibe. I don't know, but I really, really love it. So yeah, there's this elephant page, and then I did this lion. Oh, by the way, this is always just done, all of my color numbers are, for that matter of fact, in whatever markers I can find. There's a lot of Sharpies, a lot of big markets on here, some of those old Ohuhu, some of the Cali Art markers. I just pull markers from all of my sets to do my color by number books. I try to do some of my older markers first that are more likely to run out, because I can kind of mix and match on the color by number pages, where I feel like if it ran out in the middle of me coloring like a skin tone or a dress or something, I'd be kind of angry. So yeah, these are always just a mixture of whatever markers. And this is a lion, and I did look it up. There are lions in Asia. I said they are in India and Turkey, but they are endangered there. But I do like how this page turned out. I especially like these arches back here that are blue for the sky, really pretty. And I think this is the lion's tail right here curled up. One of the things that I really like about this book, and that you're seeing with all these pages, is that it only has 25 colors if you count the blank spot that you leave white. But the artist who works on it, all of the animals feel very different. You know, you'd think maybe with only 24 or 25 colors that they would start to feel the same. The pages would be kind of samey, the color combinations would be the same, but they're really not. They find a way to make all of them look very different and very visually interesting. So that's something I really actually like about this brand of color by number. It's not all the same. So finally I did this bear, and this is either a sun bear or a moon bear. I don't remember which. I think the sun bear has the long tongue and the moon bear has the ears, so it has to be the moon bear. But yeah, this one had, again, it's kind of like some of the same colors with the oranges and the reds, but then you got the purples in the blacks in here that just make it totally different than the last page. So just something that's like details like that, you know. There's only so many colors, but they still managed to make all the pages look so different and interesting. And yeah, I've got 7 pages left, including this page on the front with the monkey, which is probably the least interesting page to me, so that'll probably be the last one. Unfortunately, sometimes when I can see what they look like when they're finished, I do tend to pick the images around that. When it's a surprise, then, you know, I just pick a page at random, so I've kind of been saving the poor monkey for last. But yeah, those were all the pages that I managed to get done this month. I have a kind of a different variety of books here and a variety of pages. I'm hoping that July is not too busy for me. I will get a little bit of a holiday for the 4th of July. I'll get a 3-day weekend, so that's nice. So maybe I can get some pages done then. I've already got a buddy color going with Misty and Goth Summer. That's why you're seeing this like blotter paper here. So maybe we'll see about July. Maybe it'll be more than 12. Maybe it'll be less. Who knows? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.